Hey everyone, I'm 𝗙𝗵𝗽. I'm a travel writer, I run around a lot outside, and I love cooking from my kitchen here in Berlin. Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe that's recently become quite the regular in my cooking repertoire: stuffed eggplants. I got the inspiration for this recipe from Yasmin Khan's newish book, Ripe Figs. Here it is. And she's got a recipe in there called Imam Bayildi. Imam Bayildi apparently means the Imam fainted. Not entirely sure what that has to do with eggplants, but they're delicious, so we'll just go with it. It's a Turkish dish, usually a meze, so it's something that's kind of like on the side for people to share. What I'm going to be making today is, I eat it more as a main. Also, there's a lot of inspiration that comes from my wife's side of the family, which makes Papoutsakia, which I believe means little slippers. In the Papoutsakia, you usually get some meat in there, and it's topped off with a bechamel sauce. I'm not doing that today, so whether this is more the Turkish version or the Greek one, I don't know. Although there's definitely Greek influence in this recipe, at least from the Greek cooking I've learned from my wife, with all the cinnamon that I'm putting into the tomato sauce. What I like about this recipe is what I like about most recipes that I cook is that it's pretty easy for someone who's new-ish to the kitchen. It's an eggplant, you roast it, you stuff it with whatever you like, and that's basically about it. Today I'm going to be using lentils, celery, carrots, and some squash because we've got a lot of summer squash going around, so we're going to go ahead and throw that in. Now, like I said, I'm not doing a bechamel sauce on top, but I am putting a little bit of Parmesan cheese at the end because bechamel sauce, it's like a thing. It takes time to make. Grating a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top at the end, and that's, you just do it. And it doesn't take up any noticeable amount of time. So I should stop rambling and just start making them. Okay, you're going to start off by taking a couple of eggplants and cutting them in half vertically. Then put them on their backs, and you're going to cut a few diagonal cuts along the flesh of the eggplant. Make sure not to go so deep that you're cutting through the eggplant. Just, nice little cuts so that the eggplant can breathe. Then go ahead and put your eggplant into a baking dish and preheat the oven to about 190 degrees Celsius or 375 Fahrenheit. Sprinkle about a tablespoon or so of olive oil on top of your eggplant and then brush that around. And season with kosher salt, pepper, and I like to throw on some smoked paprika here. Once you're happy with the seasoning of your eggplants and your oven is preheated, go ahead and throw those in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. And now moving over to my lentils, I'm using a cup of lentils here, and then off camera I'm putting in 2 cups of vegetable stock, putting that over high heat until it boils, and then lower it to a simmer and cover until I'm ready to add it to my tomato sauce vegetable mix later on. Meanwhile, I'm going to chop an onion up and throw it onto a pan sizzling with olive oil. Seasoning as always with a bit of kosher salt. After about 7 minutes or so of sauteing, go ahead and throw your garlic in. My rule of thumb with garlic is that if a recipe calls for about 3 cloves of garlic, I'm probably doing at least 5, if not more, because I love me some garlic. I think I'm doing about 5 cloves here. Then after the garlic's had a minute to saute, go ahead and add in your chopped carrots, celery, and squash. Go ahead and mix that up and season with kosher salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. I had a little vegetable stock left over from the lentils, so I went ahead and threw that in here, and then put it on a high heat so that the vegetables would soak up the vegetable stock and the rest would evaporate. Then once I was ready for the tomato sauce, I lowered it down back to about a medium heat and put in about 400 grams of tomato sauce. And season with, let's say, about a tablespoon of cinnamon, though like garlic, I love me some cinnamon, so I'm probably always going to put in a little extra. And you've got some oregano and basil in here as well. I could tell you a specific amount, but just go ahead and put that in to taste. If you cooked your lentils separately, go ahead and toss them in now, mix it up, and once you've got that all boiling, lower it to a simmer and cover it up. After about 30 to 40 minutes, this is what your eggplants should look like. Go ahead and take a fork and just start mashing the eggplant goodness inside. You're going to be making space for your vegetable tomato sauce filling. Again, some people at this point will take the eggplant out and throw that into the vegetable mix and cook it up there. I save myself the step and just mash it right here, and then I'm going to add to it. Once you feel that your eggplants are sufficiently smashed, you can go ahead and start putting in your tomato sauce veggie mix, and then cover up with aluminum foil before putting into the oven for about 35 minutes. You want the aluminum foil because you don't want everything to dry out. Once your 35 minutes are up, go ahead and take the eggplants out, take the aluminum foil off, and in lieu of spending the time to make the bechamel sauce, which yes, I could have done during that 35 minutes that the eggplants were in there, in lieu of that, I'm shredding some Parmesan cheese on top and putting it back into the oven, uncovered, for another 10 minutes. Here we've got a look at the eggplants after the final 10 minutes in the oven. Now when serving this up, you could add more cheese on top, but I just went straight for the drizzle of balsamic crema. And there you go, folks, my Yasmin Khan Imam Bayildi / Papoutsakia influence stuffed eggplant. Alright folks, that's all I got for you today. I hope you like this recipe. I hope you try it out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the recipe, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know if there's something that you want me to try to make, or if there's something that, I don't know, you just want to see. Then maybe I can provide that for you. Anyhoozles, happy cooking, and until next time, 𝗙liche𝗹𝗹𝗻𝗲. Should I go this way? This way? Cool. Alright, thanks.